What's up, everybody? Welcome back to All Finance. Today, we're going to get a look into Lark Davis's opinion about Ripple and Stellar. What are the differences? What are they? What are they trying to do? What makes them tick? Well, we're going to check it out right here. What's Lark got to say?
If this isn't your first crypto rodeo, then the names Ripple and Stellar, XRP, XLM, were very familiar. Both were very big in the bull market of 2017. And
by the way, I was a part of that XRP bull run when it ran all the way up to $3.20 from like 20 cents. What a rip that was.
Part of the 2021 bull run is too, although they got a little less attention. They weren't quite the center stage anymore. And it's fair to say not everyone expected that much from them in this current cycle. I certainly didn't, but egg on my face.
I mean, you gotta listen. I doubt that he thought XRP wasn't gonna have a run up, especially after the win with the SEC and then with the new administration coming into place. You know, it was gonna happen. You know what I mean? They're heavily involved with government. They like that stuff, and they've liked that stuff for a while.
After all, beyond BTC, the majority of attention has been on Solana and meme coins and AI tokens, new layer ones like Sui and Aptos, and that's where a lot of my money is in that kind of stuff. But it looks like both XRP and XLM have got a lot of life left in them after they surged in price recently. And it looks like they might have more to come. So, especially
XRP, man. XLM is kind of like the redheaded stepchild. You know what I mean? It's like I like XRP for sure, and I like Stellar too. I do, but XRP, man, I think that might be the way. But XLM, you know what I mean? I don't know. Let's maybe.
So let's talk about these today. No charts, just what the heck they are, what they're doing. Let's compare XRP and XLM and identify why they're back in the spotlight. So why did XRP and XLM surge so much recently? Well, normally you just download their Coinbase apps again, saw which coins they bought back in 2017 and bought more, I guess. No, look.
I'm not going to lie. In 2017, I didn't know much about crypto. I just saw it going up, and I just literally just bought it because I saw it going up. It's not the right way to buy, but hey, you gotta, it's FOMO. It's FOMO.
There are two main catalysts that help to set off bullish price action for both tokens. The first is, of course, Donald Trump's victory election in the USA, which means for the first time we'll have a pro-crypto US administration.
Imagine how crazy it's going to be. Not only is now Donald Trump pro-crypto, but JD Vance has crypto. And he's open about it, like his Ethereum holdings and everything else. Like, this is going to be a wild 4 years.
Okay, with David Sachs just announced as the crypto and AI czar, pro-crypto SEC led by Paul Atkins. And that latter point about the SEC is especially relevant to the Ripple company and the XRP Ledger, which won a partial legal victory over the regulator earlier this year.
That was an amazing victory, bro. Amazing victory.
Here, when a court ruled that for secondary sales, XRP is not a security, which is maybe just a slap in the face to the SEC.
Yes.
And now with a complete SEC
thank God. Hold on. Can I get a thank God here? Man, XRP did hand the smackdown to the SEC for sure.
The horizon, it looks like regulatory issues will become a thing of the past, clearing the way, of course, for a potential XRP ETF, which there are multiple filings for already.
Hey, let me know in the comments. Do you think this is going to be an XRP ETF? Do you think it's going to be a successful launch for an XRP ETF? Let me know in the comments below.
The commission is probably even going to drop the rest of the Ripple lawsuit. By the way, there's no XLM ETF applications yet, but those will probably come at some point. At the same time, we have what's likely to be the most parabolic stage of the bull market starting to kick in, with the major markup phase here, meaning that retail crowds are returning. Some of these punters are new, but many have been here before and are just dusting off their old exchange accounts, okay? Quite possibly checking in on what are those coins up to that I used to invest in. Old familiar names.
Yes.
XRP, XLM, Cardano,
Yes.
Litecoin, Dogecoin.
OGs, man.
2017 repeat. And on top of that, of course,
OGs.
again, I don't think we should dismiss how big spot XRP ETFs are going to be when they happen. Okay, we have multiple companies that have filed for XRP ETFs.
Look at all that. I know you can't see because my big head's in the way. But you got the Solana. You've got XRP. You've got Litecoin. You got HBAR ETF in the works. Like, that's actually nuts.
ETFs at this point. They will come. Ripple also expected to launch the RLUSD stablecoin very soon, which is absolutely massive. Stablecoins are the biggest business in crypto, essentially, and the RLUSD stablecoin could be a real game changer for the XRP Ledger. Although right now it's still waiting on approval from the New York Department of Financial Services. They'll get it. It'll come. Okay? And there's the fact that XRP and XLM are both compliant with ISO 220, 20022, 20022. Okay? So what is ISO 20022? Well, that's a new international protocol aimed at improving on the SWIFT system for international payments. Nerd shit. And
Yeah. Nerd shit for real. Nerd shit. We're ordinary people on this channel.
improving international payments is exactly what both Ripple and Stellar aim to do. Okay. Also, we can even throw in that there has been rumors, by the way, just throw it out there for most nerdy ISO talk that Trump has talked about doing away with capital gains tax in U.S. cryptos like XLM and XRP. Anyway, by the way, there are some other ISO 20022 compliant blockchains, HBAR, ALGO, Cardano, also all American companies that could benefit from a Trump capital gains tax break.
Hey, shout out to HBAR too, man. HBAR is on a tear. HBAR is on a tear.
On U.S. crypto coins. Anyway, importantly then, Ripple and Stellar both have their same kinds of utility at their core, and we'll be looking at those more in the next section, starting with the question. Before we dive into that, real quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is MEXC. Look, these guys are doing an insane $12 million giveaway right now. So you got over all the top coins you'll be trading over there at MEXC. Go over there, trade futures for Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. They got all the top stuff. They're doing daily cash prizes, weekly cash.
All right, we don't care.
Garage, $500,000 car, probably a Ferrari, maybe a Lambo. They haven't officially announced what kind of car it is, but it's a $500,000 car. It's crazy. To be in to win is super easy. Just use the linkers to start getting raffle tickets to be in to.
Come on, Lark.
Down below, you're going to get an exclusive $20.
Come on, Lark.
That fee rebate is not available anywhere else. Time off to XRP versus XLM. So what is XRP building? Well, look, XRP appeared on the scene way back in 2012, okay? So this is truly one of the earliest coins in crypto launching.
2012. It wasn't earlier than that? I mean, I know 2012 was 12 years ago, but I feel like it was earlier than that, but maybe not.
Just 3 years after Bitcoin itself. XRP is the token, while the blockchain is called the XRP Ledger. The company behind it is Ripple Labs, and the organization was originally known actually as New Coin and then Open Coin and then rebranded to Ripple Labs in 2013. The project...
I bet y'all didn't know about that. I bet you didn't know about that.
From the very early days, from the start, was all about payment processing. But unlike peer-to-peer Bitcoin, Ripple's focus has always been on banks, financial institutions, replacing the SWIFT system as the primary method for cross-border payments, which is a big damn goal and not worthy enough goal, let's say, for a crypto network. And that sounds all great. It's clear from personal experience that compared to sending crypto, right, trying to make an international payment through a legacy banking system is slow, annoying, and feels hugely outdated. I mean, when's the last time you got to try to send money from one country to another using the banking system? It's horrific.
Bro, horrific. I was in the banking world for 12 years. To send a wire transfer internationally, it has to go through the Fed, and you have to wait for the Fed to release the funds to go to the bank, and then the bank has to clear it. I mean, we're talking about like days. Like it's really crazy that they still have this archaic banking system to send money. Like, and we use digital money, but they don't like what they can't control.
Use Bitcoins there in a few minutes, crazy. Or use XRP, it's there in seconds. Or Solana with USDC also. Blockchain's the future, long story short. But
yes.
This is also...
Blockchain is the future.
Ripple and XRP have a different character to Bitcoin. You see, BTC is cypherpunk, decentralized, peer-to-peer, permissionless, censorship is money. No one knows who created it, gained traction as an alternative to central bank money after the great financial crisis. XRP, by contrast, it wants to work with the suits. It's run by suits. okay? It aims to work with and improve the banking system.
And listen, and I can respect that about XRP. It wants to work with the suits. They're transparent about it. Like, we want to work with the banking system. Like, that's what it is.
Meaning, it feels inherently more corporate and, well, more normie-ish, which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but it's distinct from BTC
Yes.
and some other parts of crypto, which are more, let's say, libertarian-minded. Related
Yes.
to this, there are assertions that Ripple isn't really operating in a truly decentralized manner, but I don't think these conversations are as important these days as most people would like to think they are. You know, a lot of crypto.
Look, here's the thing. Why does everybody think that every single crypto needs to run decentralized? I understand that was the whole point of Bitcoin, right? To not be controlled under a centralized entity, right? I get it. But like, if this is another company that's going a different way, I don't understand why everybody's so in an uproar about it.
Crypto networks have questionable decentralization practices, let's say, okay? Ripple Labs itself controls key validator nodes, but, you know, say la vie. When it comes to the token, there's a total of 100 billion XRP, all of course mined tokens.
That's
with
a
around
lot.
48 billion held in escrow by Ripple, and XRP tokens are critical, of course, to how the system functions.
So pretty much half the supply is owned by Ripple Labs. It's dangerous.
As they act as a kind of currency converting bridge unit to change one fiat to another through a network called RippleNet, which enables very quick cross-border payments. There's also a burning mechanism, which could get pretty spicy, to be honest, depending on how much adoption the RLUSD stablecoin gets, but that's something that could take many years to actually come to meaningful fruition, okay? So what's the outlook for XRP? Where's all this leave XRP, right? And its value as an investment asset. Look, Trump's victory and the incoming change to the SEC means crypto's legal and regulatory storm clouds are lifting, and that's perhaps especially true for XRP.
Yes.
It's been in the crosshairs for a very long time, unjustly so. It's been bullshit. We've talked about that many times here. We've been
Complete bullshit.
The
Complete
XRP
bullshit.
fight versus the SEC, okay? They've been right at the forefront of that legal fight, so hats off to them as always. So, the token's recent price action, it makes sense considering everything that's going on the regulatory and political front. It's almost as though it's resetting to the levels it was at before it was targeted by the SEC. Remember that in 2020, prior to the beginning of the SEC legal action, XRP was a top 3 coin of market cap. It should have been there.
Look at that.
Right?
Look at it. Did you see that? At 19 cents.
Beginning of the SEC legal action.
Look at that. 19 cents XRP was at. 19. Sheesh. Good Lord.
XRP was a top 3 coin of market cap. It should have been there, right? But it got pushed down by the SEC protecting investors by screwing your investments, right? And while corrections are certain and capital can rotate, if bullish conditions continue, there's probably a lot more upside potential. We've done XRP price prediction videos. You can go watch those. Those things still remain true. However, whether or not the project's ultimate long-term plans to take over as the institutions conduct, the way that institutions conduct cross-border payments via the RLUSD stablecoin, is that actually going to happen to a major degree? We're talking trillions on chain. Well, it's possible, but potentially a long bet on the adoption of one particular company's tech, which is fine. Long bets can pay off. Look at Tesla.
Yeah.
But not the same as simply riding prices up
And
short term
Nvidia.
simply because there's likely to be an increased interest in an easily tradable coin that people are aping back into because it's one of the top most liquid coins in the cryptocurrency market. There's that too. Now let's move on to XLM and the question of Stellar. They're still here. Anyway, look, when you see XRP surging, it's likely...
Yo, Lark did them dirty, man. Lark, why are you doing Stellar dirty? Why are you doing XLM dirty, man?
You'll see XLM making moves too, but why are these two tokens correlated? The reason is because they have interlinked origins and similar aims. XLM is the token of the Stellar blockchain, a blockchain project that was launched in 2014, making it the OG, again, of the crypto world. It was co-founded by Jed McCaleb, who before that was a co-founder at Ripple. One of the best to ever do it. This dude, multi-billionaire, but founding 2 of the early blockchain networks and to just slowly sell tokens over time. Genius. Anyway, there's a clear connection between these two, and you can see a lot of inspiration in what Stellar built from the XRP Ledger. Like Ripple, Stellar is focused on cross-border payments, but a difference is that while Ripple is building for large financial institutions, Stellar is aimed at small businesses, individuals. And yeah, they work some big partnerships and stuff too, but more for regular people versus just for the big institutional players. Another difference is that the organization behind Stellar is a non-profit, while Ripple Labs is a for-profit. And of course, Jed doesn't need profits because they already cashed out billions from selling off his XRP. Different story. Anyway, Stellar hasn't been involved in the kind of high...
Yo, talk about the shade. Oh, Lark gives the shade, man. And that's true, man. He sold all his XLM. It was crazy. That was a crazy... That's definitely a different story.
Profile regulatory battles that Ripple has been, okay? But to be clear, that isn't a criticism of Ripple, just to be clear there, okay? Whatever you think of XRP, Ripple's willingness to face down the SEC hostility was good for the entire cryptocurrency industry, including Stellar, who got the ride on those coattails of more regulatory clarity that Ripple fought the battle for. Anyway, there are enough similarities there that many of the catalysts leading to XRP repricing upwards have had a similar effect on XLM. It benefits from an SEC where common sense is finally being reinstalled. It's been ages.
Yep.
It's aimed at addressing obvious real-world payment issues. It's a multi-cycle survivor. That's also got an appealing factor. Seriously, to investors who aren't just wrapped up in crypto 24/7, the fact that XLM's been here for 10 years, that matters, okay? It's easily traded on major...
I mean, XLM's been here back in the days with the Dash, right? The Moneros and all that stuff. XLM is an OG coin, man.
Basically every major centralized exchange out there. And as for the token, the total XLM supply is now capped at just over 50 billion coins. It was originally 100 billion.
Which is half of XRP, mind you.
With a 1% annual inflation rate, but the plan was actually changed and half of the supply was actually burned by the Stellar Development Foundation back in 2019. And the 1% annual issuance was actually halted. And of the XLM supply, around 30 billion tokens are currently in circulation, with the rest held, of course, by the Stellar Development Foundation, which is a gargantuan sum of coins, by the way, considering the current market cap, but that's a lot of cheddar, man. Look, the outlook for XLM, as for kind of where that positions XLM at this point in the cycle, it's in a similar place to XRP. Catching up for lost time, trading on improved market conditions, with let's say a clear utility case. But all while it remains unclear whether or not it will really fulfill its long-term purpose. Again, just use Solana and send USDC, right? XLM then is the same niche as XRP with a smaller market cap, currently at 14 billion compared to 130 billion. So maybe it's like the catch-up trade, it'll be correlated, maybe outperform a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like Stellar does not have the kind of community that XRP does. Let's just keep it real. XRP has like a die-hard cult of people behind it.
Like crazy cult, like not cult, but like XRP has a crazy backing community, and good for them.
Stellar Lumens, it just doesn't. Okay, yes. I'm not saying Stellar's tech is bad or anything. It just has the same kind of community hype and vibes, right? It lacks the bullish catalyst of the RLUSD stablecoin as well, which is going to potentially be really big for the XRP Ledger and crypto as a whole. However, both XRP and XLM do seem to be indicating that there is a market for more utility-focused crypto stuff, right? This year has been dominated by meme coins.
Yo, Lark,
but XRP and XLM are reminders that actually a lot of investors are still interested in crypto for reasons that have kind of been overlooked recently, like, payments, utility, and stable coins and stuff like that.
Yeah, the market been flooded with meme coins. There's a meme coin for everything. You know what I mean? Pepe, Mew, Dog with Hat. There's all these meme coins to gamble, like penny stocks. It's can we get back to utility, real world use cases? You know what I mean? I can appreciate a dog coin every now and then, but can we get back to actual use cases and not just throwing your money into some internet gambling? Look, I know it's about community, and the meme coins maybe could have utility, right? Look at Dogecoin. Look, Dogecoin was created as a joke. His founder said it was supposed to be as a joke. And then now look who's the cheerleader for Doge. The richest man in the world. Elon Musk.
After all, Bitcoin wasn't launched as a joke back in 2009. It was a response to dysfunctional financial institutions, the criminal corruption of banks, and an attempt to construct a better kind of money.
Yeah.
That isn't to say that either Ripple or Stellar have the same ambitions as BTC. In fact, as we've seen, they are quite different. but they do prioritize payments.
Way different
They are
communities
looking at
too,
doing
man.
problem solving, fixing
I like both
real-world
coins,
problems,
honestly.
and
I own both coins. I
there
like
are
both.
memes on the XRP Ledger, by the way, okay? And yeah, I know, dogs and frogs and cats get everybody very, very excited, and there's still obviously a big market for that. Even on XRP, there's meme coins these days, so
That's
you guys
crazy.
can go over there and do that too, okay? You can benefit from the RLUSD stablecoin launch and still trade your damn dog coins, okay? You degenerate gambling monkeys out here.
Yeah,
Come on.
see? Yeah.
Come on. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know, what do you think? Team XRP, Team XLM? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching.
Definitely love Lark Davis. If you haven't seen him, you got to go over to his channel. I'll link his channel down below. Are you Team XRP or XLM? Let me know in the comments below. We'll put up a poll maybe or something. I wish you could put up a poll in the comment section. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next time here on Alt Finance. See ya.